Hi, I'm Tiffany Peterson with the Lighthouse Principles, and I'm excited to share with you on this success tip what I call the super G's, gratitude and generosity, the ultimate keys to success. As myself, I've studied various people that have created long-term success and have been able to create sustained success for long periods of time. There tends to be two attributes that they consistently have. One is gratitude and second is generosity. I had the great opportunity in a coaching session within this last year where this gentleman that I was coaching, he'd come to me and was dealing with some different struggles and challenges, and we identified as the growth that he was wanting to create that there were two things he could always be regardless of his outside circumstances. The first being grateful for the gifts that he had, grateful for the blessings and the good things in his life, and secondly, that he could always be generous with time, generous with resources. And those were two anchoring attributes for him that made a huge difference to shift his energy to be open to creating new experience. So I'm going to share with you a couple of tips here today that will help you get centered and focused for your own goals and your own business that you can utilize anytime. Obviously, I love this time of the year. Happy fall, happy autumn. I love the leaves changing and the holidays. And I just think it naturally brings up with Thanksgiving the opportunity to reflect on gratitude. I love the thought by Oprah Winfrey that says, be thankful for what you have, you'll end up having more. The power of having a grateful attitude is so important to shifting into and creating and manifesting the goals that we want. So the first tip that I want to share with you today is what I call, or just simply refer to as gratitude listing. Now that could be listing it in a journal, a notebook, that could be verbal, that could also just be in your meditation. There's a practice that I've learned from a mentor of mine called gratitude breathing, where you see and focus on something you're grateful for as you breathe in, and even seeing as you're breathing in through your heart space. And then on the exhale, letting go of anything that feels stressful, but just feeling and focusing on that gratitude. But I find that whether, again, it's writing out 5 things a day you're grateful for, or saying it verbally, or just meditating on it, when we get ourselves into a grateful mindset and a grateful attitude, we feel more grateful. And when we feel more grateful emotionally, we tend to show up and act differently. And we have that kind of energy that just opens us up to receiving more and more. As we know, the thought and the process, the teaching, that what we focus on expands or it gets bigger. And so if you're wanting to experience more positive in your life, consciously force yourself. And yeah, I know it's forceful sometimes because there's times you don't feel grateful or you feel stressed, but to have that habit in place, again, whether it's listing it out or verbally stating it or part of your meditation or prayer, focusing on the things that you are grateful for. Secondly, I find that helps me in getting into a grateful and generous space, which again always connects me to good things, is to appreciate others. And one of my mentors once gave the challenge to carry around a 3x5 card and to make 10 little chicken scratches, 10 little marks on that card that I was to appreciate 10 people in a day. Now, if that feels overwhelming, start with 3 or start with 5, and that could be posting on their Facebook wall and just acknowledging something you appreciate about them. That could be a handwritten note. That's something that I personally like to do, is on a weekly basis is send out at least one handwritten note to someone in my family, friends, or my network, which is great for relationship building and has many effects that are positive. But just appreciating others, whether again it's verbal or in writing, is so powerful for both them, because you're extending kindness, and you obviously, every time we extend kindness, we feel better ourselves. So it shifts us emotionally into a better feeling state. And again, when we're in a better feeling state, we're more creative, we're more receptive, and we're in a space where energetically or vibrationally, we're open to attracting more of the good. And third is simply showing up in a space of service. As many of you know that we spend time together, we talk about showing up to serve or serving to sell. In the space of, in an aspect of being generous and giving back, is this aspect of service. Especially if you're in a time where your heart might be heavy right now. There might be some serious challenges you're facing. It might be financial or relationship or health. Is that when we focus on serving someone else, we feel lighter. Our own load, so to speak, is lightened because we're focused on helping and supporting others. I remember hearing that once at a very important time in my life where I was really in some sadness, is I heard someone say the best way to heal a broken heart is to serve other people. And I find that so incredibly true. And there's a particular example that comes to mind. A coaching client of mine that I was working with earlier this year in January, she was feeling very stressed about money. And she had acquired some recent credit card debt. And again, the stress amount money was really strong for her. So we talked about two things. One, some self-care habits that would help her start feeling better, taking better care of herself. And two, I gave her the coaching challenge that she should gift $100 that month to some cause or charity. Now you'd think that might be the opposite, right? She's feeling stressed about money, so giving money away when you feel like you don't have a lot of extra money to give sounds maybe a little ludicrous, right? Like counterintuitive. But the important thing again is to shift into the energy. So 3 weeks later, I get this follow-up email from her and checking in with her accountability that she'd gifted this money. Again, adjusted some of her self-care habits so she was more in tune with how she was feeling and taking better care of herself. Morning ritual, as those of you that know that, or hour of power. And she was doing some things to get herself recentered. And she gifted that $100. And what ended up happening for her is within 3 weeks, she had monies come into her that she wasn't planning on, that it totaled around $7,000. Now, I'm not saying or claiming by any means that every $100 that you gift, you'll earn $7,000 back. But what happened for her is it shifted her energy. So whether your resource is time or money, to get into a generous space. Maybe for you it's donating an hour a week to mentoring someone, or maybe you're offering to babysit for a neighbor, or you bake someone cookies. But just getting into the energy of generosity will again significantly shift you energetically or vibrationally and help you feel better, which in and of itself is worth it. And as a byproduct, very much what happens is the very things we're wanting, they come to us so much more easily and beautifully. We manifest those things because we're in a generous space. I'd love to have you join me throughout the month of November. I'm hosting a free teleseminar series called Gratitude and Generosity, the Ultimate Keys for Success. It will be 5 teleseminars total every Tuesday in the month of November, taking place at 12 noon Mountain Standard, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to have some fabulous guests, some great favorite friends of mine that are going to share some of their tips and strategies of how gratitude and generosity has helped them manifest their goals, and some different tips to help you get centered in that. But great people like Kevin Hall, the author of Aspire, Ann Webb, the great creator of Ideal Life Vision, my dear friend Robert McPhee, the author and creator of Manifesting for Non-Gurus, that book and journal series, and a couple others, as well obviously myself, and that we'll be sharing, again, each Tuesday, 12 noon, on the power of gratitude and generosity. I can't think of a more perfect time than November and setting the stage for the holidays to get centered in these core principles to bring us more peace, abundance of joy, more money, more success, all of those great things that can help us live life fuller. So I hope you'll join us. You simply go to my website, The Lighthouse Principles, and click on the home page. You'll see the opt-in box there. It's beautiful. It says Gratitude and Generosity. Enter your first name and email, and you'll get the registration details so you can participate throughout the month of November. I look forward to supporting you during that series and hope you're having a great month of October and a great November, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Thanks.